Hey, this is Trinity. You're listening to Esoteric Truth Radio. Before I get into this, I am taking an extended break. I guess you guys noticed I haven't been around for about a week. I'm putting out a lot of content, and it's really hard for me to promote my shows by myself. So I decided to take a little bit of a break, and then I started looking at this stuff. So I'm going to try to cover it as fast as I can, which you already know that's not going to happen. But I was going through some of the files today, and if you go to the original place where it was like a week ago when I did my last show, it's a 403. So I had to find it another way. I know for some people it's easy to find, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of these things are either mirror sites or the bullshit sites. Like, they're literally making new sites that are just made up. So instead of covering what everybody else does, like I do every episode. By the way, if you hear me frustrated, it's 3:46 in the morning and I'm exhausted. And I just did an hour and a half, like, a bonus show. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to talk about, right? And then, here's the shit kicker. And then, if it comes true, then I'm gonna play me going on a rant and me researching, like, the way that I normally do it, but you guys can hear me really doing it without, like, the edits and shit like that. So, okay, let me cover this real quick. So I was talking about everything that was happening with Epstein, but I was talking about the stuff that happened in the jail. So I'm not going to cover that. So while I'm going through it and I'm trying to figure everything out, right? They're talking about, like, codes for, like, somebody impersonating an officer. And then they're talking about, like, some of the nonsense, right? Like financial transactions, all of this stuff at the jail. And then I was like, at the end of it, right, after going through the entire thing as much as I could, right, to cover this. And it all makes sense that this whole thing is a setup. At the end, I had to make a realization, and I had to make sure that if I keep talking to you guys and sharing how I really feel, like, I'm not like these other people. Like, I talk to you guys like you're my buddies. Like, we're all sitting at a bar and we're all having drinks and we're all just talking about the weirdest shit because we know we're all crazy. At the end, I pretty much said, this is all kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not real. Okay. That sounded weird. Okay. It's not real in a sense where, how am I supposed to say this? It's not real in a sense where this is like Prince Andrew, right? Him getting in trouble and going to jail. That's not real. Musk being a trillionaire. That's not real. How you call it? All these people that are quitting their jobs and they're under investigation. None of that is real. None of it is real. Okay, so here's my conclusion and why I'm not going to play my my other audio until if what I said is going to happen. I even added proof by reading articles off the AP just to prove that I did it today. So you could already tell how tired I am, and I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. Okay, none of it is real, right? Just keep that in mind. None of it is real, right? The people that are really controlling shit, it ain't the people we're looking at all. I've said that 1,000 times. The people that are running the show are not on fucking TV. They're not sitting around doing reality shows or going on bro podcasts and shit, talking with incels. That doesn't happen. There's not a guy doing a fucking Nazi salute that's running shit. That's craziness, right? Okay. So here's my thought on this, right? Let's just say this is a mafia situation, right? Which it kind of is. But I'm just going to say it in a simple way that I can. That even I can make sense to myself. So this mafia hierarchy, right? We got, like, the Godfather, and then you got all his little fucking minions. So at some point, when you get as big as you do, the way that this has gotten big, you have to rile in your people. You know what I mean? If you train them and you teach them and you put a lot of effort into them and then you're fucking goons, like, you kind of want to keep them. You know what I mean? It's like when you go to work and there's always like 2 or 3 really pieces of shit employees, but they don't get fired. And you're like, why are you not getting fired? Because they don't want to get nobody new. They don't want to teach a new person. They'd rather have somebody who's a complete worthless piece of shit get paid money to do absolutely nothing than to bring somebody else new. So I think the top honchos, men and women, because women are coming out the woodwork in this, both that are up in the highest of high, right? I mean, it could be people, it could be aliens, whatever, it could be demons, whatever you want to think it is, that's up to you. But whoever's really, really running this fucking show, and I'm talking about the planet show, not America show, not England show, the whole fucking show. Whoever is running that, whichever giant group of people, because it ain't 2, it ain't 1, giant people, a giant group of people, they're reeling their people in. They're not going to jail. They're hiding. They're fucking hiding. They're hiding. They're taking these people and they're putting them away. And I don't mean like in a closet. I mean, it could be, I don't know. They're bringing them in. They're like, okay, we did what we had to do. Let's blow this fucking place up. You think that those bunkers and all this other shit, that's not... First of all, if I have to still kind of tell regular people what conspiracy theories are, that's craziness. That's not for everybody. You know why my show's called Esoteric Truth Radio? Because esoteric doesn't mean some demonic shit. It just means like a secret. You know what I mean? Like, or a teaching that only certain people can understand. You know? It's all fake. I think they're reeling them in. I think that this guy from DP World that I talked about way before it came out, I think he went into hiding. I think the chick from Goldman Sachs, like she got the money. She just kind of got up and just disappeared. We got fucking Andrew. He went to jail for like 6 minutes. They let him out because he's packing his shit. Everybody's leaving. And they're all going under the guise that they're going to jail, that they're going to pay the price. No, they're calling their people in. Like when you're in school and they're like, hey, Trinity, are you here? Present. And you put your fucking hand up. That's what they're all doing. They're saying present. They're putting their hands up. And the people that are really running the show are like, all right, get on the bus. Let's go. What about you? You want to go? Yeah. This is why, especially in this fucking country, this is why we got these people on their knees sucking off Cheeto all the time. Do you not think about that? Like, why would you put your whole life on the line for that? You know how deep that shit gotta be? Pam Bondi was in a room with these people and refused to look at them. Talked about the Tao. Do you know how deep you have to be to do that? This shit's deep. These people are hauling ass. And they're leaving their little minions behind. And all of these people that are doing this dumb shit are thinking they get on the bus. They're not getting on the bus. They're not getting on the bus. Not at all. You ever had that one friend? Because I love my best friend. And I tell him, I ain't got no problem telling him, if you and I are being chased, I will trip you on the floor so that whatever's chasing us will get you, and then it'll slow the whatever it is down, and I get the haul ass. I mean, I probably wouldn't do that. I'm using the word probably because I don't know, shit happens. But I think that that's what's happening. I think they're looking for a head start, and they're just gonna wait for us. We're the monster. They're turning us into fucking monsters. And when we start getting fed up with bullshit and we start going forward, then they're going to slow it down. You think we're going to pay attention to the dude that keeps falling asleep? You think he's doing that on purpose? No, he's doing it so he gets off scot-free. When this thing, if it's not going to go in the direction. Look, I'm not even going to say it because it ain't going to happen. He's not going to go to jail. None of that stuff is going to happen. Now, his minions, absolutely. They're definitely going to have to pay the fucking price. Like, that's a given. But the higher ups, the real people, I wouldn't even be surprised if they let Cheeto, because he went rogue. I would say they would even let Cheeto let him be part of the pack of people that are gonna have to pay the price. He wasn't supposed to go rogue, and all the people around the world know it. So keep that in mind. They're hiding. They're not getting in trouble. They're packing their stuff. That guy from DP World is packing up his cargo. He's saying, let's get everybody else that we have, that we sold or that we abused. Let's get everybody in these little things and let's ship these people out. Do you think that because this is happening, they're just gonna stop? You think that they're just like, oh man, we got into trouble. Let's not touch kids anymore. No, what? No. Every time something like this happens, do you think that they stop? No, they get better at it. You know what I mean? It's like when you're in a relationship with somebody and then you meet somebody better. You know what I'm saying? You don't just, some people just up and leave. And then some other people, man, they do shit over and over and over again. So you could get angry and then you could break up with them. This is a breakup. They're not going to stop. They're going to keep on doing it. They just moved on to someone else. And it's either Epstein, who might be alive. You'll listen to my audio at some point because I'm telling you, I know I'm right. Or they're going to leave Cheeto behind. He's going to eventually snitch. We're going to say he's senile and we're not going to believe a word that he says. And everybody else will be in their little bunkers laughing with all the stolen children and all the stuff that they're doing. Because while we're sitting around talking about this nonsense and we're talking about tariffs and the price of beef, because believe me, I would kill for a fucking steak right now if they weren't $600. And then what would happen? We'd be thinking about something else. Like, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense except them leaving. Look, I don't even give a shit. Look, if you really want to think about it, they could all be just getting on a ship. Maybe. All right, by the way, this is what I sound like at 4 o'clock in the morning. I really would like to do lives at this point. Yeah, at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm hilarious. Anyway, yeah, I'm really tired. Okay, so you know how this dude keeps like trying to get rocket ships up in the air and shit, and then they just keep exploding? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to like get on. They're either gonna get on a ship and then leave us here, right? Because that's what I think the ultimate goal is. I think they're trying to wipe this place out. I think they're trying to get a do-over, right? That's why AI is getting so far. That's why all of it. Listen, the plan has come into play, and we're watching it in real time. But it's not what we think it is. Andrew's not getting in trouble. The DP guy isn't getting in trouble. I told you about a chick that she was in the fucking files as literally being a huge part of it, and she was married to a NASCAR driver, and she's a millionaire living in Midtown Manhattan with an apartment in Paris. Are you kidding me? You think people are paying the price? I even brought up one of the survivors who she's all over the files. Like, I don't even mean like as a survivor. She's all over the files as a perpetrator. I haven't seen one time where she was in there until now when she came out. That was the only time. This shit's deep. They're gonna leave. They either figured out a way how to keep making children, or they found out something where they just don't need this shit no more. You know what I mean? We can't read. We can't hold jobs. Half of the country's on drugs. The other half are MAGA. Like, we're in a lot of trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. And you have to just have a do-over. You got to have a do-over. And I think that we're in that process. We're in the do-over phase. Listen, he's about to talk about aliens. Are we being serious people at all? All right, I'm going to end this. And I'm going to put this up. I really don't want to, but I don't care. And I'm going to put this up. And I really, if you went this far, you got to leave a comment and tell me if you actually think that this might be a do-over or not. Because I'm telling you, that's the direction I'm going in. that paperwork that I read on that little crazy 1.5 hour rant I went on, it was too much. It was too much. The connects were too much. I'm like, why would they kill him? They won't. Why would they keep him alive? They won't. It's a do-over. That's it. So, as you already know, I'm exhausted. I love you guys. My throat hurts. I really, really, really love doing this in the middle of the night because I sound like a crazy person and it makes me happy. I don't know when I'm going to do another show, to be honest. I don't know. I just haven't been feeling it. I mean, I want to do it, but I feel like I don't want to sound like that. I just feel like it's not going anywhere. I'm not talking about like likes and stuff. Like I feel like I'm talking to a wall because I know I'm having conversations. I just don't think anybody's interested in the kind of content that I put out where I'm just like talking and I don't have like some kind of flashing news thing and a big thumbnail that's like, oh my God, and has my face looking all surprised and shit. I just put on my hat and I sit there and I just talk with you guys on lives. So, it is what it is, right? But I do love you guys. And I know some of you guys like actually listen. So, this is for you. No, seriously, it's for too. I'm going to get out of here. Take that into consideration. Leave me a comment. If you think that that's not what it is, try to tell me what you think it actually is. And don't say aliens. I already know somebody's going to say aliens. All right. I love you guys. Trinity, of course, Necessary Truth Radio. I'll be back at some point. And I hope you enjoyed my 4 o'clock in the morning rant. Talk to you guys later. Bye.